A report from Taiwan's National Audit Office shows that Taiwan is struggling to protect its undersea internet cables. Now, this is a map of all of Taiwan's active undersea internet cables that it uses to connect with the outside world. Now, this report shows that a total of 12 cables failed last year, were damaged. Now, that's the most in 5 years. This report is revealing that a lot of the times it's foreign fishing vessels that will sail in the Taiwan Strait and will sometimes drag their anchor or their net to catch fish. And when they do that, they also damage the cable that's lying on the sea floor. Now, Taiwan's submarine cables are very important for the country to connect with the outside world. Taiwan only has about 14 cables. And analysts say that it's not just about keeping Taiwan connected, but Taiwan in general serves as a hub to link other countries in the Asia-Pacific region with the rest of the world.
它对于整个印太区域的国家也很重要。首先，在技术上，目前这些海底电缆，大概承载这大概90%以上的这个data link，因为你走这个低轨卫星，它速度还是比不上这个海底电缆，这些 cable 都是连在一起的。所以如果说这个海底电缆破坏了，那对于印太区域的整个资讯，还有就是经济都会造成重大影响。
Now, going back to this report, the National Audit Office has identified 2 cables that just keep on getting damaged. The first one is cable number 2, which connects New Taipei City, one of Taiwan's largest cities, to the outlying islands of Matsu, Dongyin Island to be exact. Now, this cable is suspected of being damaged by a foreign fishing vessel on the 2nd of February. The second cable that keeps on getting damaged is cable number 3. Now, this one connects Taoyuan City, which has Taiwan's largest international airport, again to the outlying islands of Matsu, this island now being Nangan. Now, this incident is apparently the cable was damaged by a cargo ship passing through. But what's interesting about this scenario is that that incident ended up knocking out power and internet connectivity for 10,000 homes in that area. So Taiwan had to struggle with getting that connection back up in a short amount of time. Now, the question is now what Taiwan can do to protect these internet cables and if it can maybe switch to an alternative like satellites. Well, to see if that's possible, I spoke to Alan Liska. He's a threat intelligence analyst based in Virginia.
You know, cables are really important, and you're never going to be able to get the kind of bandwidth and connectivity that you get through these cables over satellite, but you have to have something, right? You have to have that backup, and satellite is the best alternative to that. I mean, we can't really go back to telegraph and Morse code. So your choices for high-speed networks are cable and satellite. So there should be a lot more investment in satellite overall.
Now, Alan, this report shows that it's actually fishing vessels that are sometimes scraping the bottom of the ocean floor when they're fishing or anchoring and damaging these cables. Given that, should Taiwan be working with other countries and advocating to better protect this kind of infrastructure?
So it's actually, there are specialty companies that do that keep subs in the water kind of all the time prepared to do these cables, because cables break all the time. And again, it's not always nefarious. Weather can do it. You mentioned the fishermen who hit it. So they can be repaired, and they can be repaired surprisingly quickly. We've gotten very good at figuring out where that is. The problem is when it starts mounting like this, when there are 14 breaks over a relatively short time period, even with the preparedness that we have in place, it is really hard to keep up with all of those. You've seen there have been governmental reports from Taiwan, from Singapore, from the UK, very much emphasizing how much more attention needs to be paid to how we're protecting our cables. And I think that's going to be a bigger problem going forward. And of course, as global conflict escalates, suddenly these cables become a much bigger and more important target. And so they have to be protected.